everyone, and welcome to a new podcast here. I am Megan, and as always with me is Dave.
Hello, as always, in the last 10 seconds.
Yes. Okay, so why are we back? This is the first time since April of 2018. Dave and I actually stepped in a podcast booth, regarding a wrestling show. So Dave and I are back, but this is a whole new show. Uh, so, as a lot of you guys know, Dave and I are indeed a part of the Wild Candy Visions podcast that started in 2013. I was the original founder before taking a little break. Dave came along the way. We added a third piece of the pie, Chris, and eventually the three of us became two again, Dave and I. Um, we took a little hiatus due to personal issues, work issues, and I wouldn't say falling out too. I would say like little financial issues too. But other than that, Dave and I are here. We're talking about bringing a podcast back, but not under the Wild Candy Visions format. Basically, considering that we are a part of the Wild Candy Visuals, the gallery still, and we are the original two, the show will go on as expected, and obviously this is our show. As of right now, we don't have a title. We're just called Megan and Dave Untitled Show. We can't even think of a proper title, so just put the Untitled, and then you get that. It is wrestling, and if you listen to the early days of the Wild Candy Visions podcast, sports was a big thing. So obviously, considering that Dave and I know football, hockey, baseball, and basketball, those will be brought up too. So that's what happened in the early stages of the Wild Candy Visuals podcast.
I think it's more just a case of like when you started it. It's like when we did the show, it kind of evolved a bit. It was originally meant to be like covering just the women, and all the shoots and all that. That was like the original idea. Then it just evolved into like we're not talking about them as much, or at least the shoots that much, because they don't really do them anymore. Like they used to release them weekly, but you don't. They do it occasionally now, maybe for big four pay-per-views or Halloween or something like that.
Or unreleased shots.
Or unreleased shots, yeah. That used to be a thorn in our side. It's like, why are they not releasing photo shoots, but releasing these, these 30-pick, retrospective stuff with like two shoots that we've never seen before, like two picks we've never seen before. Like, why can we not see the rest of them? Then it kind of like evolved into, you're talking about your sports, and then like wrestling whatever general. So like the WoW show was like there wouldn't really be any point in keeping that name because it's more now.
It's more diverse, and it's more yes, there could be a little bit going off, tirades, ranting and raving. Obviously, I'm known for my certain ranting thing. However, we will not put down any negativity on this show. We will not, say something out of anger. If we do, we would apologize beforehand so we don't offend anybody.
We might get a bit out of hand in terms of like our emotion might get the better of us, but it won't get offensive.
No, we will not drop any swear. Well,
swears may be said. We try to keep it down to a minimum at least.
But if it gets heated, it gets heated. We would calm ourselves down, apologize for any words that could be thrown. But, this is a brand new podcast, clean slate, so forth. Now, predictions, that was a big thing within the thing. Obviously,
still is.
No titles run. What?
Still is.
Still is. No titles are being won. Bragging rights could be there, but we're not getting money for this. We're not having actual titles we can buy from WWE shop.
I do want to get one in the future. I was kind of hoping that I would get one in the next in like the. Well, I went to WWE show for April. I was thinking, okay, hopefully I'll be able to save up enough money by the time they come down in November, because they usually do the twice yearly thing for the European tours. When they come down in November, you may be able to get one if I have enough money. They never came here in November, so I couldn't do that. Like they came to Europe, but they came to Europe, but they never came here.
Oh.
Yeah.
They didn't stop in Ireland during well.
They didn't
actually.
They did in April. They did. In November they didn't. They just did UK and inland or mainland Europe, but they didn't do Ireland.
Correct. So eventually it was like, okay, we don't get bouts. Triple H is not getting contact with us and everything like that. He's not creating bouts for us, but predictions were made. We had our first prediction on Saturday. Dave and I tied.
Typical.
Typical. We always tie. We tied. No winner there.
To be fair, for that one was like it was anybody listening back. It was for NXT UK Takeover.
Yeah.
And I think for the two of us, just for full disclosure, don't watch NXT UK. I don't think I'm guessing you don't watch it, or at least that much.
I watched some of it.
Yeah, I kind of keep up with it, but I haven't really had a chance to watch it. Which actually can be the same. Same can be said for NXT. It's a regular NXT. Well, I think we didn't take the predictions for that one too seriously. We basically just guessed it. Or at least I did.
But obviously, you did pretty good for guessing.
We got 2 right.
Two,
yeah.
Right. Hopefully next time around we will do better.
Well, Royal Rumble.
What?
The Rumble.
Okay, we got. Oh, yep, Phoenix and the Rumble.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and Takeover as well. Yeah, boy.
Yes. So it's going to be pretty interesting. Like I said, the predictions are still going to be there. There's no belts. We're not having title belts being made for us. If God forbid that happens, that would be amazing. But
we think we could get like a title that we could like swap back and forth, but the airfare for that would be ridiculous. Like sending it back and forth, especially if it's going back every 2 weeks. No, I don't think we can afford that.
Okay, so honestly, here's the thing. Everything from Wild Candy Visuals is moving over here. Dave and I are still here. We'll get into more details towards the end of the show, but as we always said, let's get this show started. So, Monday Night Raw. Okay.
Have you calmed down yet?
What?
Well, have you calmed down after what happened?
I don't know. Okay, sports reference here. I'm happy that the Eagles are out of the Super Bowl. I'm sorry, out of contention for a Super Bowl win. I am not an Eagle fan. I am a Patriot fan. I think a lot of you know that. I'm a huge Patriot fan. I'm a Patriot fan, and I get so much shit. I got so much shit whacked on me last year. It was crazy.
We got our first swears.
What?
We have our first swears.
Well, shit is not a bad word. It's a PG word in a way. Anyway.
No, it's not. But it's PG-14 or whatever you call it. PG-13. Okay. But I don't know what your ratings are.
Being the quote-unquote Super Bowl loser, I got a lot of crap put on me, considering that the Eagles won last year.
To be fair, it was the Patriots, and it's like the Patriots are kind of like the Yankees. They've been so successful for so long. It's like anybody that doesn't support them will be happy if they lost.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. But because it's like every year the Patriots are either in the playoffs, winning the division. Well, the AFC East is a weak division anyway.
I think if I read correctly, they've won the AFC East 10 times in a row, and they've been in the AFC Championship game the last 6 years.
Yep.
And 3 of the last 4 Super Bowls?
Yep.
Is that correct, or am I just guessing that? I will double check that, actually.
Okay. I think they did win 10 straight. This is their 8th AFC title hunt. 3 out of 4 Super Bowl.
3 out of 4?
Yes.
Not wins, but appearances, I mean.
Yeah. They won 2 in those 4 years. 49 and 51.
Yeah. 52, they were in, they lost. 51, they were in and won. That pass, that should never have been a pass. What were you thinking, Pete Carroll? No, seriously, what were you thinking? 50, no, they weren't in. It was,
that was
Broncos and Panthers. 49, Patriots over Seahawks. So that's, was that the one that was the pass?
That was the one.
49 was the one, yeah, 49. What was I thinking, 51?
No, 51 was the Super Bowl where the Patriots were losing.
Oh, the comeback. Yeah, the comeback. Yeah, the Falcons. Like.
And then one of the Falcons players like, don't count out Tom Brady. Don't count out Tom Brady. That's Tom Brady, dude.
So it's 4 Super Bowls, 3 appearances, 2 wins.
Yep.
You wonder why people would prefer to see someone else there.
Okay. So as you were saying, as I was saying before,
that's another thing that you should take into account when you're listening to us. We will go off topic and we will stay off topic before So this ain't gonna be neat, I guess. It's gonna go off the rails quite a bit.
But anyway, I said nobody was gonna pass the Saints in the NFC, and obviously the Eagles succumbed to that. And honestly, with the hype with it, I was thinking to myself, "Oh God, it's not. It's gonna happen again. The Eagles are gonna repeat. I'm gonna be miserable." Now Monday comes around. Simple work day. Going to work, come home. What's gonna happen on Monday Night Raw? Dave asked, "What did you ask again?"
Huh?
What did you ask me again?
When?
How do I feel with guy on the show?
Oh yeah, have you calmed down yet?
Honestly, it feels like I woke up from a dream that I felt happened, but it's really happening. Yeah, I thought it wouldn't happen, but it's happening.
Yeah, because to be fair, it's like this came out. Well, actually, let's rewind it a bit.
Okay.
Okay. If I can just actually, what I should do is actually just open up the results real quick, so I can just do a quick show recap. Not 10-14. What are you talking about?
114.
I searched for found it anyway. So okay, started with Vince McMahon showing up, and something's got to happen. Strowman came out, did better this week than he did last week in terms of promo, because I heard people say he pretty much shit the bed last week, which is unfortunate. He chased down Corbin, wanted to get Corbin. A couple of superstar cameos led to Strowman. It was basically saying it was Elias said that Corbin was in the limo. Strowman trashed it, thinking Corbin was in there. Then McMahon saw it, got angry, fined him, and took him out of the title match. So, and then he flipped the limo.
The best one, I'm sorry, the door part had me laughing.
Oh, was it like he tore the door off, and then he tried to pull it back to fix it, and it just fell off.
Honestly, that was too funny for me, because I'm looking at it, our friend Nick, who's a friend of ours, was watching it, and he's like, "How is he going to put this back on? There's no way in hell he's going to put it back on."
You would have not only superhuman destructive skills of flipping vehicles over, but he also have superhuman fixing skills by plop the door back in place like there, it's fixed. And actually is fixed, hinges and everything.
And it's like that's not gonna work. And I was laughing the whole entire time.
Hmm. So Strowman got taken out. So something must be up.
Okay.
I'm hearing two theories about this. One would be that Strowman is just not healed up enough.
Okay.
Because they remember they wrote him off TV for a bit leading up to TLC because he had to do shoulder surgery. Also, yeah, elbow surgery. And he didn't heal up enough for the TLC match against Corbin, so they wrote around it by just having everyone else attack Corbin, and Strowman just put his foot on him, and there you go. So a very eventful TLC match that was. The thing was, what that match was, the stipulation was, if Strowman won, he gets the Universal title match at Rumble. So he wins the TLC match, gets the Rumble match. But now he's been taken out of the Rumble match, so he's probably not healed up. His arm, not healed up enough to take bumps. The other thing I've been hearing is that people have been saying this wasn't actually the original plan all along, which is a bit far fetched if you do say so. Like people are saying that it was never the intention for Strowman to go up against Brock because Vince doesn't want Strowman to lose to Brock again. Which, fair enough, if that's the case. Because, if you have Strowman keep beaten all the time, no one's going to care about him. And to be fair, he's cooled down quite a bit now, which is a shame.
Uh-huh.
Either way, he's out. And I honestly wouldn't. Actually, I did see someone else do a review of this of the show, and he equated Strowman now to what the Big Show was like before. Rival big guy to be put in a spot, heel or face, to get someone else over, or if he ever does win the world title, it's to put someone else over, not to put him over.
Right.
Which would be unfortunate, but it's probably gonna be probably how things go now. So
what? Yeah. So what happens from here?
Not yet. Not yet.
Okay.
You had Rousey and Banks going up against Tamina and Nia Jax. It's like the classic storyline of rivals teaming up together. Oh, how could they ever work together? How would they ever get along?
Yep. How would they get along? No, they're gonna start bickering at each other. They won the match.
And then they went up. Then they had the promo against each other, and from what I heard, Banks went off.
And obviously, I felt that. I was like, "Ooh, hit it where it hurts."
Yeah.
Hitting Ronda with the fact. I was like, "Ooh, shit."
Okay. You had some mini stuff going on here and then. Revival and Lucha House Party. Revival actually won a match. They didn't get screwed over for once. Okay.
But we'll talk about that.
Then you've got part 2 of the whole show story arc.
Okay.
Just to make a long story short, McMahon comes out. Doesn't say anything. Cena comes out. Says he should go again against Lesnar. Drew McIntyre comes out. He says he should be going for the title. Corbin comes out. Then Finn Balor comes out. All 4 of them come out, and then big scuffle.
No, wait! You missed him. You missed a huge part.
What was the huge part? Oh, what? Go on. I know it's about him.
Vince. Okay, Vince said that he was sick and tired of being not included in the Universal title situation. Because considering that he's the first ever Universal champion. Vince said, and I whoa, it's a line that kind of hit me hard a little bit because I was doubted before, and obviously it struck a chord with me a little bit. Considering that Finn is my favorite on the roster, he said, Vince said he's a talented guy, he's extraordinary, but there's too much beef in the ring. He doesn't know. Now, if you saw who was in the ring, he defeated Corbin, he defeated Drew. Cena, we'll get to that when it comes. Then Vince said what all of us have been saying. He never believed in him. And
well, that's what a lot of people have been saying, because it's like it's not just Finn, it's the whole WWE NXT disconnect.
Right.
Because it's even happening right now with all the new call-ups right now, is that people from NXT with the, you know, most people from NXT with the obvious, there's exceptions here and then, do very well in NXT. Once they get called up, they're floundering, or their character is changed so that they're not what made them popular, or stuff like that. The majority, or they're not given the right push. You know, like they're not being taken seriously. Like, you can count on one hand the successful call-ups from NXT that actually had at least some kind of success. But there's a bucket load. No. I'm talking about NXT post-network launch. Like, we can talk about NXT, like, NXT before the network became a thing. You've got a lot of success stories. You got the Wyatts, you got the Shield, you got Big E, you had Neville, which, you know, eventually got something. You've got all like post-network. There you've got the disconnect. People that got like successful. Like, thinking right now, people have been successful in one way or another since being called up. Balor, but that was only because of one spot, and like he got injured, and he hasn't no push since. Nakamura, like a push for the main title, a heel turn, and a US title feud that went nowhere. He's nowhere near the potential he should be. He should be, you know, main event caliber. Who else? Can you think of anyone else?
Charlotte.
Well, not counting the women. Like, it's like, yeah, okay, you've got the horsewomen. Okay, you can call them successful. But they're probably the outliers. Because I think when they came up at a time when they were needed. All the NXT call-ups now, like, not counting them, they came up in a time when there was already enough people up there, so they were not going to be used. And it's the fear I've got with the call-ups right now, is that the argument is, I think someone said, I think someone put up saying, you shouldn't be giving new toys if you haven't used the old ones. So, like, people are thinking there's no need to call them up. You don't. The problem isn't you don't have enough talent. Is that you're not using the talent you've got. There's a lot of people that weren't even used. Never used. Anyway, even like going back to Revival, they're not even like, you know, Revival. Found, and they should be, you know, going for the tag titles all the time and being taken seriously. Yeah, well, they had American Alpha, that can be good as a tag team, but, you know, they had to split them up and you know, have the least popular one on his own get the massive push that nobody wants, and Jack Gable is, you know, a lackey. Basically, he's just there. Fair enough, he's getting a decent run now. But Bobby Roode, there's another example there. He should be a top heel. They call him up as a babyface. or because he's got a catchy theme. Let him be the heel.
Let him be the damn heel for one.
Yeah. His whole thing was he was egotistical. That's what the theme was. But no. Anyway. That's all. It's whole WWE NXT disconnect with Vince, and everyone's always said that WWE's Land of the Giants. They always push the big guys. Or like some people said before, it's like you must be this high and this big just to apply to be in the company.
Mm-hmm.
Even when you've got like this push of smaller guys. SmackDown, fair enough. You've got the smaller guys going for the main title now, but if you look at the Universal title reign, take away the fact that Brock has been, the absentee champion for 2 years. But if you look at how the Universal title was, it started with Balor, the smaller guy. He got stripped up. Okay, he got stripped of the title, so it got put on Kevin Owens. He's a bigger guy.
He lost a ton of weight. He lost a lot of weight.
Yeah. He's a bigger guy than Balor, but he's not a big guy. He's not a 300-pounder. Big muscle head. Know that. Then the end of the line. Then the end of the line of the small guys coming in. Goldberg wins it. Then it gets to Brock. He holds it for all the time. But what was the last time? Actually, I was gonna say that's the thing. With Brock Lesnar, you're only gonna have him go up against or challenge against big guys, with the exception of Daniel Bryan at Survivor Series, where I was in a title match.
And AJ
Styles. But they won title matches. But it's like, but if you think about it, like Brock is he's feuding against Goldberg, he's feuding against Strowman, he's feuding against Roman Reigns, all big guys. So,
Then we have Roman.
Yeah, Roman, yeah. Which, fair enough.
And then, unfortunately...
Yeah, well, soon. And then it goes back to Brock again.
Now, here where it gets fun.
Anyway, segment was, big brouhaha goes up, ends up McIntyre standing tall, and McMahon announced a fatal four-way. Was it Corbin, Drew, Finn, and Cena?
But
winner gets a shot at the Rumble.
But we see Jinder.
Jinder comes out and says, I wanted that match because he didn't get a fair shot at getting his title back when he lost it, and nobody wanted to see that rematch. Everyone was glad he lost the title, so who was asking for that?
Yeah.
So
I got that part.
Yeah. So McMahon was just saying, okay, you can get your shot if you beat somebody in the match. You pick somebody, you take a spot, and he picks Balor.
I could have been fine with him taking out Corbin, but why does he have to pick?
Heel v heel.
So eventually, Megan's blood pressure is going up through this show.
And this is just up, and that's just up. We haven't gotten through that one segment.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, then you've got Riot Squad against Natalia Bailey and a mystery partner. That ends up being Nikki Cross.
And honestly, here's the thing: I should have think that Nikki should have got the win over the Riot Squad instead of Bailey. That's just my opinion.
There's pluses and minuses with this. I think of. Plus is Nikki got on the main roster. She made her debut. Well done to her. Deserved. Bad news. She debuted on Raw. Sanity's on SmackDown. That was my initial worry, but that may not be final. If you can see later on in the, if you see it later in the week, so we'll see what happens with. Ambrose gets upset he has to defend his title in a triple threat. Then you've got Balor versus Jinder. just so we'll get to your Finn talk at the end. Balor wins.
Oh.
That was loud.
Ow.
Also, you do know I'm not the only one that's hearing this, right?
Oh, sorry, guys.
Ow. Oh yeah. She may do that occasionally because Finn. A surprising moment of the week, a surprising moment of the show. Well, we knew this match was going to happen anyway. IC title triple threat. Ambrose against Rollins against Lashley. I did not expect Lashley to win this.
Me neither.
It's kind of like I said, it's kind of a double-edged sword. Lashley finally is actually being given something, which is good, like give his return a purpose. So, and also it's a title he hasn't won before, which is something new for him. He was ECW champion, he was US champion, but he was never IC champion. So that's good.
And he never was tagged, so he got a couple more titles to go before he's actually Grand Slam champion.
Well, he's
Grand Slam.
He's only 1/3 through the Grand Slam. Well, actually no, 2/3 if you count ECW title. But of the current Grand Slam, he's 1/3 through.
Okay, so.
But actually, hang on. The other side of the coin is, man, Ambrose had a disappointing reign. Like his heel turn has been disappointing because everybody was at high hopes of, we actually be able to see a new Ambrose, be able to be more sadistic, be back to what he was like as John Moxley in the olden days. He could be able to be like a sadistic heel. No, he wears gas masks. He takes Scott Steiner's intro for his theme, and he loses the title in a month.
Here's the problem I got with this. Hold on, give me 1 second.
You got a second.
Here's the problem I have with this. Give me 1 second, guys. Hold on.
Don't have dead air on the show already. It's only the first show.
Okay, sorry about this. Sorry about that. I had a cough. Anyway, here's the problem I have with this. I always talk about it most of the time. The whole your Shield brother turns on me saga and everything like that. It's 2014. We saw it once. We've seen it before with Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins going around the first time around when Rollins was the heel.
And that time, it actually led to one of them getting a good push.
Who was that? Seth or?
It was Seth, yeah. When Seth turned on the Shield, it eventually led to him being pushed as the big guy, the authority, and end up being the champion, the world champion. Though he did have money in the bank.
For the time being, before he tore his knee apart.
Ugh, that's unfortunate. Double whammy for me because you never want to see someone get that hurt, and also it happened in my neck of the woods. It's ugh.
Yeah, that was not good. I was actually concerned that I'm not the biggest Seth Rollins fan out there, but
like I say, you never want to see it now.
It's like rise, rinse, repeat. You're basically repeating the whole thing, but the roles are different. And when I was watching TLC when they were chanting boring, I was like, I can understand why they are chanting boring.
I can kind of understand it because, whoops, my phone going off. I can understand in the case of it was expectations. This should be a blood feud. They should be brawling and tearing everything apart, and they're just having a very slow match. Very slow match.
Honestly,
in terms of story, it was fine, but it was fine. It could have been a lot better.
I think because with the whole Roman Reigns situation thing too, it also didn't help. I honestly felt that the whole leukemia thing, something was not clicking here.
It seemed a bit forced.
Yes, it's like, oh hey, you turned on me, yada yada yada. I hate you. I'm gonna hurt you. Why'd you turn on me and so forth. Honestly, this did not help Ambrose, and this did not help Seth and White. That's just my opinion on this whole entire thing. I think it, like I said, it was outplayed, outdone. We've seen it before. So that's my one thing I do have to say about that. It's outplayed. It didn't help both of them, and obviously I don't know what's going to happen here. Where do they go from now?
I think I could still see them doing the Seth Dean feud, just without the IC title. I think this could have been just a way of you can continue the feud, but take the IC title out of it because you don't need it. You don't need it in there.
Right.
So give it to Lashley, and give him a run with it. Give him a decent run with it. No.
Yeah, let him feud with the likes of Apollo and other people.
Well, speaking of call-ups, that didn't do anything.
Sadly.
Yeah. Even though he got like a blink and you miss it push.
Right. From back a couple weeks ago where the fans didn't care about the match. And I felt bad for Apollo, to be so fair.
Yeah.
Alright.
Then we got Alexa Bliss. Now
we're jumping a little bit
question here. We're not jumping. This is actually next.
Okay.
Well, and this is coming from a guy who let's full disclosure and all that. We'll look at women like that if they're like that. I'll say it, just put it out there, I guess. What was the point of this?
I don't know. I've read, I know there's a lot of Alexa Bliss fans out there, and there's a lot of non-Alexa Bliss fans, and people are gonna put, oh my god, they're sexualizing her. Oh my god, so it's the blonde hair, blue eyes shtick. Where like, okay, a blonde girl's gonna have to get butt ass nude, or as what.
I did see someone say this was probably like WWE's writers were like, can we just get one more sexualized moment, get it out of our system before we really take the women seriously. Can we just get one more, please? And that was probably what this is.
Someone said, okay, so I was reading that it could have brought back some parts of the Attitude Era.
That argument.
Honestly,
let it go, people. Attitude Era is gone. It's not coming back. Let it go.
With that statement, I think we went a little bit backwards here. We're supposed to be in an era where women's wrestling is supposed to be taken seriously. Why?
Go on. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Go on.
No, you go ahead.
No, I forgot what I was gonna say. No, it's like I was just seeing the second. I was thinking, what was the point of it? Like the only justifiable reason I can see them doing the segment was to continue the running gag of the intern getting a coffee is not doing a good job. A running gag that has lasted 1 week. Like, if this was like this seemed like something if you were going to continue running gag and you have no other ideas. And this is the second time. The second time you've done this. Or the second time you've tried to do like intern can't get your coffee right in the right time kind of thing.
Right, but honestly, here's the thing. I know people were saying the smoke. I know we're jumping a little bit of Impact here. Scarlett Bodar. I can't say her last name.
Bordeaux? Or Bordeaux?
Bordeaux?
Yeah.
It's Scarlett.
Scarlett, yeah.
She has the smoke show gimmick. And I think it was back before Dave and I actually started this podcast that we were getting a little bit concerned that would this gimmick fit in the current day?
I think it was more like my perception was this if it could be handled right or could work, but like would it be accepted in today's climate of super PC, it's a super PC culture where it's like people can be easily offended in a way, Like,
but here's the thing.
It's kind of like it's one of the reasons why I was just saying the Attitude Era is not coming back, because if you actually look back at the Attitude Era, there's a lot of stuff that happened there that you definitely will not be able to get away with these days. A lot of stuff.
The the fans chanting the word slut.
Oh yeah, that too. Yeah. Well, actually, that's objectifications. You know, you're not gonna do that. You know, the objectification of women, the over-sexualization of women for no reason. You know, just because they're there. Steal shots to the head. You're definitely not gonna do that. There's a lot of stuff you're not gonna get away with. But it's like, I still thought that if you could be able to handle it the right way, it could work. Because, you know, like I said, I'm being the guy that will look if it's there. I can see a place for it. Like, even WWE, they have a place for it right now. Like, they have, like, also jumping a bit, you got Mandy Rose doing the kind of same thing now. So, like, the being a bit sexual, in a way. Not in the same degree, or not in the same way, but
at least Naomi whooping her ass.
Yeah, well, there you go. But it's like, I still think there's a place for it, if handled correctly. And I kind of think that can be handled correctly, you know?
You know, it's not like, oh, hey, they're not being shown a bed or anything. You know, it's either causing a fight or Otis randomly popping up.
Wait, hang on. We haven't even talked about the segment yet. We're talking about beforehand. Should we get to the segment now? Yeah. All right. But let's see. After the randomness of the backstage bit, there was a moment of bliss, and Bliss announced that they unveiled the women's tag titles.
Yoo-hoo!
Which look good. I was afraid that they were just gonna do another rehash of the the men's tag titles, because it's not. It's great.
I was expecting them to be white though.
Well, they are. They're white and yellow, or white and gold. I think. Are they?
And honestly, it stands out.
It does, yeah. They did announce that there's gonna be an elimination chamber match to determine the first champions. 3 teams from Raw, 3 teams from SmackDown. We'll get to that in a bit. In more detail in a bit. Well, the match itself, but a lot of speculation I'm talking about. Then you had Paul Heyman come out. Basically hype up Lesnar again, because that's what he does. And then Otis of Heavy Machinery comes out for a reason. Like, look at that Alexa, and then he just took a knife, brought him back, and the segment just ended.
And then we go to the main event.
This is a bit random, but and also a bit worrying again, because I get this is basically putting a footnote in Heavy Machinery being called up to the main roster to be a comedy act, which is fine, because they effectively were. They weren't exactly a serious team. They can be taken seriously, but they weren't exactly a serious team if you saw them in NXT a bit. Like, you know, they do have a flashy moves. They even doing the, I forget what he calls it. He does a worm kind of thing. I forget what he calls it, but whatever. But that was kind of worry. But we'll see what they do in the main roster. Then you got the main event. I'm just gonna let you take this.
Megan's blood pressure. I'm gonna give a little scammer.
It got so high you had pressed 9 and 1, and if you need slightly be higher, you're ready to press 1 again.
Okay, I was not going to call 9-1. I have to be careful because I have tachycardia. A little heart condition. They detected it last week. So
sorry.
I have to be careful. And so there's a lot of anger issues, nervous, so forth. So, let me think of it. Corbin, Finn, Drew, Cena. Megan does her famous "a man" thing 500 times in one night, going "oh" every
And
time.
that's before this match
Okay,
started.
what?
That was before this match started.
Yes, Megan does her normal shtick. All right, so you're thinking, okay, Cena is probably gonna win the match. We're gonna go to status quo. McIntyre, okay. Would anyone want to see Baldy go at it? Everyone knows they wanted to see Finn, and with this push,
I think the only argument for Corbin winning the match would be the only reason anyone would see Corbin win the match would be just so they can have Brock Lesnar beat him up. W.
I would have paid to see that. But okay, so watching the match, hectic. Everyone's a shot. It looks like Drew's gonna win it. Next thing you know, Finn comes out of nowhere, does his tilt-a-war DDT, which I think is pretty cool, and could work on big men. Cena's down. Finn takes advantage and hits, as Corey said, the most important coup de grace in his WWE career, and honestly, it was. And it appears he won the match, and obviously, it's like a dream that you thought was going to happen, and it did. Fans going nuts. I'm in shock. Corey said it doesn't seem right. I don't know what to believe. I don't know if I should have cried, should have happy, should have ran up and down the street. I don't know what to believe. And Finn won. And then obviously Cena put him over. Hello?
I'm still there. Sorry.
Cena put him over, told him to give him hell. So basically, as what Kurt Angle said, it was a passing of the torch moment.
I will actually. I'll say this. Actually, I saw what's his name? Ryan Satan? What's Satan? Whatever his name is. Satan. I think it was him that tweeted this out, and he's like, it did make me choke a bit. I think it says, Cena in the past week has put over both, in the space of a week, has put over both Becky Lynch and Finn Balor. And he said, no one from Ireland should ever boo Cena again. Because he put them both over.
That is true too.
That is true. No, that's the thing. It's like, to be fair, it's like, Cena putting his stamp on approval onto newer people is good, because like him full time is over. So it's like I think it's like the old school rule of on your way out you put the other guy over, and that's what he's doing here.
That's what he did, because honest to God, I don't like thinking ahead. And when I think ahead, I get nervous. This was the highest rating since October. So what does that tell you? If you have Finn, people are watching. Oh my God!
The thing is, to put into perspective though, ratings have been pretty low the last year. So it's decent days back up to October, but it's not oh my God, we're back to, getting 6s and 7s. They got back over to a 2. Good.
Which is, honestly, it could be better, but...
Step in the right direction, but let's see how to go from here.
But it's like, oh my God. It's like, okay, maybe it's not like the days of where Mick Foley put our asses in seats that happened 20 years ago. But when you think of it, it's like, this can do good. Now, here's the thing. We got a week left. Royal Rumble's next week.
Week and a half.
Week and a half. My heart wants Finn to win. But my head is saying Lesnar to win. Now, a smaller guy has defeated Brock Lesnar. That was Eddie Guerrero. Now,
and somebody did use that argument for this match for whether for Finn winning.
Now, here's my thing. Would it be a Demon versus Beast situation, or Finn bringing out everything he got over Brock Lesnar? The chances are, it's supposedly said that it's going to be Brock versus Seth at WrestleMania, which honestly I don't want to see, because we all know what's going to happen. Yeah,
that's WrestleMania. So, but then again, we said that last year. Thought, it's a foregone conclusion that Reigns was going to win the title at WrestleMania, and he didn't. So
I remember that yet. But here's the thing. Triple H is behind the push of Finn, because Finn was popular in NXT. Finn brought the foreground within NXT. The Demon comes out as a special thing. Vince on the main. We only saw the Demon once last year on the main roster. That was against Baron Corbin, which honestly I thought made sense.
No. We've once before on the main roster. We've seen him a few times on the main roster.
Okay, I meant
last year. Well, what was it? Was that there was the appearance. There was the SummerSlam with Corbin. There was Survivor Series against AJ Styles when it was supposed to. Huh?
TLC.
TLC. What did I say? Survivor Series. I think that's TLC when he was supposed to be the Pumpkin King, but Bray Wyatt pulled out because of it. Whatever. So did AJ Styles. Then what was it?
Then it was SummerSlam.
That was SummerSlam again. What was the point where they had him come up on Raw? And we were afraid they were going to do it more. They were going to do it more frequently than they should.
That was the week before Seth Rollins and him went at it.
That was SummerSlam, was it?
Yeah, that was 2016.
Okay. No. I'm thinking after that. There was I think it was during the Wyatt feud. I think it was, or maybe a few before that. That he actually had him come out as a Demon on Raw before the pay-per-view.
That was Seth Rollins.
Okay. All right. Well.
Okay.
Doesn't matter.
That was because Seth Rollins called out the Demon King, but and obviously the Demon King got it, and we all know what happened at SummerSlam and then after. But no, I think the one thing about with Wyatt was what's more dangerous, the man or the demon? Something like that. Was it? Yeah. Because Bray Wyatt wanted the man to face him at No Mercy, and obviously No Mercy happened. But you still there? Hello?
I'm letting you talk.
Okay, so no, what happened was so here's the thing. We've seen a smaller guy win the title over Brock Lesnar, and that was obviously Eddie Guerrero. Here's another argument I can put up. Finn's 9-0 in singles competition.
Can I throw out the counter arguments?
Yeah.
Because I was trying to keep it grounded. One was the detail that everyone forgets about the Guerrero win. Goldberg interfered in that match.
Oh, right. Yes, I was. Okay, I'm okay. Yes, I do remember.
That Goldberg, there was a whole storyline of Austin gave Goldberg his front row ticket to No Way Out, and was just like, don't do anything I wouldn't do. With the whole punchline was, there isn't anything that Stone Cold wouldn't do. Goldberg speared Brock, which led to Eddie doing a DDT onto Brock on the title, then the frog splash, then the win. So there's that. I think everybody forgets the Goldberg bit, but I think that's because WWE wants you to forget about that.
Yeah.
But the other argument that I'll throw for this is, this match has been booked 2 weeks before pay-per-view, and it wasn't even the original plan. Or at least, there wasn't the original televised plan.
Here's the thing.
And
Brock handpicked it, Finn.
What?
Brock, what I read, Brock handpicked it, Finn, because Brock said he does matches better with smaller people, AJ Styles and Daniel Bryan.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, Brock actually has to put some effort into him as well. Dean Ambrose.
Oh, forget about that.
Yeah.
That match was just.
But ugh. I was just finishing my argument. Realistically, Brock does not need the title. You can still put him on the WrestleMania card. You can still put him in a marquee match, and you can still have him, compete at WrestleMania. But at this point, I don't see WWE taking the title off of Brock before WrestleMania, so that Brock will lose at WrestleMania, or at least compete as champion at WrestleMania and whatever you want to do with that. So I don't see them dropping the title. Now, it would be nice if he did win this, but I am really not holding my breath on this. Like, if this had a proper build and it was actually Finn that won the number one contender spot at TLC, then maybe I could believe a little bit more. But the feud coming up from TLC, and they did last week on Raw before taking Strowman out, was Brock and Braun. The attention was on that. So this kind of smells like a short-term fix for a long-term solution.
Here's the thing. If Braun's out, and we all know Braun and Brock do have a history, and if Braun comes down to the ring...
You think Braun's going to Goldberg him?
Yes, that's what I think. Now that Chase Field can get loud, i.e. Yankees losing to the Diamondbacks at the World Series almost 18 years ago with that. I remember that game. Because I remember being very upset.
Hey! Chase Field's in Arizona?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah. Hello. I'm friends with the Diamondbacks.
Why was I thinking the Cardinals. But it's Arizona Cardinals is football.
Yeah.
That's where the confusion is.
Okay, so here's the thing. Chase Field can get loud. And obviously, as I said, it did get loud during the Yankee game. Here's the thing. I have a feeling that this may not be a demon situation where people are saying he can bring the demon out. To be honest, this is just me. If Finn loses, and then we're talking about the whole AEW situation here too, in a few moments. But when AEW is mentioned, we'll talk about that in a second. Like I said, we'll go to that when the time comes. But honestly, I don't think this is a demon. To be fair, this should be a demon situation, but I don't think there's enough time to have a demon situation. And I think Vince does sort of want to protect that. Now, the only way you can see the demon come out is if it's a WrestleMania against The Undertaker, if Finn loses the Universal title match at Royal Rumble. Now, this cannot be a demon situation. I do have a strange but odd feeling, and I don't know if I could be right here. I could be wrong. Braun can cost Brock the Universal title. Pulling that Eddie Guerrero situation here too. Now, stranger things have happened in the past. We can say Haley can turn heel on Brock. Turn on Brock and line with Finn. We can say Brock wins but shakes the hand of Finn. Or we can have Finn being wiped around the carpet. I don't know. But considering that this is a week and a half away, I'm nervous. I'm worried. I shouldn't be worried. But at the same time, I have a feeling something's going to happen.
I'm still of the argument of you shouldn't get your hopes up.
Yeah, honestly, the thing is this: if Finn loses, what's going to happen here? Is he going to go after Lashley?
He's not. Look, this is effectively a win-win situation for him. There's nothing for him to lose because he was never meant to be put in the spot in the first place. So anything that happens here is a bonus. If he wins the title, that would be great. I would see it happening. But even if he gets a good performance, it could impress, the higher ups, and they could give him another spot. They could end up having him take the title from Lashley at Mania. Excuse me. That could be the case. So that could be if they have Finn lose the Rumble, they could put Finn in the IC title picture and have him win the title at WrestleMania. That could be an option.
From who? Lashley?
Yeah.
But here's the thing. I have a feeling that it could be him versus The Undertaker. That can be the definitely passing of the torch moment. Cena was one thing, but who's the biggest name in the WWE?
At this point, it's like I know Taker's like he is, like he only comes out WrestleMania and all that, but it's like at this point, is there really a need for Taker at Mania anymore? Like last year, they had him there, and they put him in a squash match. So like you could still have The Undertaker give Finn the seal of approval, but it doesn't have to be at a match at WrestleMania. Doesn't even need to be at a match. He can still show up at Mania. I don't know. But like again, keep the idea. Don't go mad on the ideas.
Thing is, we're only 16 days in the new year. We don't know what can happen.
Yeah, like I said, don't go mad.
Yeah, so let's not count the chickens before they hatch, because basically anything can happen.
Yeah, but don't go mad and expecting everything to happen when it won't. When it most likely won't.
If he wins the title, I'm not going to be like the Eagles fans out there jumping on freaking awning and eating poop. That's not going to be me. I have to calm my ass down.
Did you really have to bring that up?
But if he loses, would I be upset? Yes. Because you don't know what can happen.
You shouldn't be too upset about it because he wasn't even supposed to be in this match in the first place.
Right.
That'll be a case of getting your hopes up. Because if you're like very upset that you lose the match, that's getting your hopes up. You expecting him to win. You shouldn't be doing that. You should be expecting him to lose. That way you're ready for it. And if he does win, it make it feel that much better.
Yeah. So, like I said, anything can happen. Let's just.
But keep your expectations. Keep the expectations low. Anything can happen. You're convincing yourself to believe it'll happen.
Yep. So
don't do that. Don't do that.
Anything can happen.
Again, stop that.
What?
Anything can happen. Brock Lesnar can be going to WrestleMania as champion.
Or Brock Lesnar can say, "Hey guys, I'm going to put Finn over. Fuck you." So.
You really think he'll do that? I don't see him doing that. Like he's a bear, basically.
He's a bear.
Yeah.
A big bear. Anyways, so.
Anyway, SmackDown.
What?
SmackDown.
Okay, so.
Alright, right off the bat, it made me wonder what the hell are they doing with the NXT call-ups. Because right off the bat, you have Becky Lynch drive in, and then he walks through the parking lot, and you've got New Day and Heavy Machinery. Heavy Machinery, who are just on Raw, for ogling Alexa Bliss and then getting dragged off again. And then it was like some kind of like he was making a shake, Becky drank it, and then walked off. That was that, whatever. Let's just get this out of the way. Why do the NXT call-ups on both shows?
Because
all of them on both shows.
Gonna go.
Yeah, no, but I kind of would have thought they would have figured it out. Like they would have figured out who's going where already. But to be fair, at least them being on the show as themselves is better than showing the same hype video 3 weeks in a row.
Right.
Yeah. So there you go. So yeah, Becky Lynch came out, did a promo, Asuka interrupted. They did back-to-back things. The one line that jumped out, which fair enough. Like like as the Becky fan can sting a little bit. Asuka basically saying Becky won't be in Charlotte's shadow anymore. He'll be in Asuka's shadow. Fair enough. Then the Iconics came out. Who again? NXT call-ups with nothing to do. They basically brought in as the punching bags. Cause here we go. Becky beats Royce. Then Asuka says, "Oh, anything you can do, I can do better." Beats up Billie Kay. And then you got a face-to-face against those with those two. Then, in a weird sense of like everything's blending together, AJ Styles comes out, and very, very unorthodox, really unorthodox fashion, because I don't think anybody else come out to do this. He comes out the entranceway, walks around the ring, then walks up through the fans of the stands, and then goes into the concessions. Is that really the only way you can go up there? Isn't there like 20 other entrances? How did Daniel Bryan get there last week?
And his bright ass shirt, you can find him easy.
Anyway, you had AJ basically do a follow-up to Daniel Bryan's promo last week. Did the exact same. Basically, the AJ put Bryan through a hot dog table. Mm-hmm. And that's about it. So then another story arc, I guess. The Usos do like a photo shoot. They get a package, and it's from Mandy Rose, and it's basically key to a locker room. So, what's that all about?
The hell?
They had Small Joe promo. Walks past EC. Oh, sorry, he just walks through the ring. Walks to the ring, and EC3's there. So the little spot. Andrade. Just Andrade. No more Cien Almas, which kind of makes it a bit awkward because his theme says Cien Almas in it. So I wonder if they're gonna edit that. Promo there.
What's his name?
Because no one's allowed to have two names anymore. Someone actually, I think someone actually, if I can look it up here, someone actually put a list up of current WWE superstars on the main roster who have had their name shortened. And I think the list is 10, at least 10 people. If I can find it here. Hang on. Where is it? So I'm just looking through my oh yeah, actually, well I'll do the next bit while you talk about it. Samoa Joe versus Mustafa Ali basically didn't happen because Ali did his entrance and Joe basically killed him.
Hey, Mustafa Ali is growing on me.
He's doing something right then.
Correct.
Yeah. Even though he just basically got beat up.
He is growing on me.
Good.
So. But he's not number one. We all know who's number
Yeah,
one.
yeah. Another Mandy Rose thing. With Sonya asking if this is gonna happen. Really gonna happen?
Honestly, I feel bad for her, for Sonya and Sonya, whatever. What's her name?
Sonya, yeah.
Sonya and Carmella. Their match got cut. I don't know why.
I don't know either.
Is someone sick?
Maybe. Oh no. Did they not have to do the Carmel thing where he's in Stanford? For
They already did that.
Yeah, no, yeah, but they were what's it called? They were showing that on the, or at least doing a slideshow of that during SmackDown.
Okay.
Here we go. I found a list here. Well, actually, it's not just current, but it's just examples. He said, yeah, basically the article says here, Andrade follows in the footsteps of many members of the roster who lost half their names. That includes Elias Sampson. You just lost Sampson. Big E Langston. Lost to Langston. Adrian Neville. Gene Snitsky. Alexander Rusev. Carlito Caribbean Cool. Antonio Cesaro. Apollo Crews before he got it back.
Yeah, the reason why they did that because the shooter in Florida sounded the same thing.
Which is
I
kind of
understood that.
Kind of understood it, but also kind of didn't understand it. But whatever.
Yeah.
No time, no place. Natalia Neidhart. Luke Harper. Eric Rowan. Just lost their first names. And Tamina Snuka. So that right there is 12 people.
Let me find out someone's going to change my name.
So now it's 13. But that's probably a lot. There probably are more, but we just never thought of it. Anyway, it's Rey Mysterio, not just Mysterio, versus Andrade. The name change means we'll never get my dream match now. We'll never get Ty Dillinger versus Almas. We'll never get 10 versus 100. Never get it. Huh?
But we did get 10 versus 100 in NXT.
Did we?
Yeah.
Oh, damn. Well, who won?
That was when Almas had that funky looking hat. Anyway.
Oh, that was that was the debut match?
Yeah, that was the
Why did I
debut
not know
match.
that? Oh well. Anyway, they had the match and they won.
Honestly, that people were complaining, oh my god, we've seen this once again. Honestly, that match with Andrade versus
Mysterio.
What the heck's his name? Mysterio, thank you. You know, considering that Rey Mysterio is going on 30 years in wrestling now, it seems, and he can still go having that match against Andrade. You know, those two guys are from Mexico, and where Lucha Libre is popular. And honestly, that was alive and kicking, and I was like, hell yeah.
To be fair, if there was a match that you were going to do a rematch for, like back to back, this was the match you were going to do.
That was it,
but even then, it wasn't even technically a rematch. It was a part of a tag match last week, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So it wasn't even a rematch. This is a straight up match.
Mhm.
Also, Mysterio is another example with the AJ Styles as well of you can still kick ass and you can still kick ass in your 40s.
Mhm.
Because it's like, I think it's like in the old times, it was like once you get to your mid 30s or late 30s and all that, that's where your career ends and all that. But no, you would still go.
He can still go. He can still go at 30 years wrestling.
Yeah, he's 44 now. So, you know, even with all the build up of the injuries and all that, he's still got it.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Then we had the whole hotel room spot. You want to go with it?
The whole hotel room.
Yeah, yeah.
Nothing happened. Mandy just said she was going to make Naomi's life live in hell. Next thing you know, Jimmy.
I think they were trying to blackmail Jimmy because he had a photographer there saying, "Hey, we got these 2 pictures. You got the 2 of you in the hotel room. You know, more stuff happened to you after these photos were taken," kind of thing. I guess that was implied.
And Naomi comes out of nowhere and beats her ass.
Well, we know a kickoff show match for the Royal Rumble.
Yep, that they are both in the Royal Rumble.
Oh wow, I forgot. Yeah. Well, they can do double duty. Guys did double duty last year, so. And then you had the main event segments. Miz TV basically doing Shane McMahon's birthday party. And also, and also to make myself realize just how time is flying and all that. Shane McMahon's 49.
He's 49, and he may have gray hair, but he looks good for 49.
He's still 49. I wouldn't have thought that. But then again, if you look back at like how long he's been in WWE, okay, I kind of understand that because like he's been like, he was on TV. In '92 as a referee. Like he was one of the officials during the WWF title match of WrestleMania 8. So
hey.
Yeah, like look through that match. Miss Elizabeth comes out. One of the people trying to take her back to the back is Shane McMahon.
Oh yeah.
And also, you could actually you may also be able to see him as a referee at the Royal Rumble. And in various matches around that time.
He was like 22 years old.
But he had to be.
Anyway,
yeah, birthday party and all that. The bar interrupt ends up being Cesaro versus The Miz, even though The Miz is... Someone pointed out, The Miz is still in the suit, but he was smart enough to wear his wrestling boots. So fully prepared. They must be very comfortable shoes.
Fully prepared.
Yeah.
And obviously the sneakerhead won. No, wait. Miz won. The sneakerhead got kicked in the face.
Yeah. No, the sneakerhead did a coast to coast. Or coast to cake. Well,
coast to cake.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. If they become tag champions, I would say 2019 is going to be the best year.
Actually, no, I'll say one thing. Going back, kind of contradicting myself, the whole keep your expectations low because it may not happen and all that. Because I'm like, man, I kind of have my hopes up that they'll actually will win. Like, it's don't put anything past a McMahon. Like, because remember, like in the past, Shane was European champion, Stephanie was women's champion, Vince was WWF champion.
I remember that.
For like 4 days, but it still counts. So don't put it past them.
I will fall on the floor laughing. I will laugh my ass off if that happened.
So yeah, that was SmackDown.
So we talked about the women's tag titles, right?
We mentioned them, but that's about it.
Okay, so they're gonna be at Elimination Chamber. Who should be in it? Well,
think what thing is, look at the duos that we have, the options that we got.
The Riot Squad?
You got the Riot Squads, you've got Mandy and Sonya, you've got the Iconics, you've got Bayley and Sasha.
If Sasha's not women's champion.
Yeah. Well, on the flip side of that, you got Ronda and Natalia. Weirdly enough, you could have Mickie James and Alicia Fox. Because I saw that in the post. Naomi and whoever else is on SmackDown.
Lana, Carmella.
Carmella.
I mean, we can't really lose the single stars to the tag titles as well.
I don't. Yeah, you probably. I don't know. Well, you probably could have Ronda win the Royal Rumble and still have Sasha and Bayley in the Elimination Chamber.
That's true too.
Because from what you can expect here, because you got Raw and SmackDown going after these tag titles, they're gonna float.
Yeah.
So that doesn't necessarily mean all singles titles are gonna disappear because of this. You can still do both.
So, we don't know who can be in this match.
We don't even know if there's any, like, if there's going to be any kind of, like, well, it's fair enough. The Rumble first. But then it's like, we have to build up who's actually going to be in the match. You're going to have to, put together some teams, maybe some qualifiers, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then also, like I said, it's going to be 3 from Raw, 3 from SmackDown. So, what did we say for SmackDown? Mandy and Sonya, Iconics, and... What about another team?
Mandy
and Sonya.
Yep.
The Iconics.
Mhm.
And then any other two.
Mm-hmm.
And I know, like, if the easy thing to say for me, well, actually not for me anyway. It's like the easy thing would be say, "Oh, put Becky Lynch in there on her own, she'll win it anyway." No, I'm not gonna say that. Some people may just say that, but I'm not gonna. But yeah, I don't see her in this. Yeah, so I don't know. Maybe Naomi and Lana or Kamala. Maybe we'll see.
It could be anybody.
Could be anybody, yeah. Hell, even Lacey Evans could even be one of them. I don't know.
Mhm.
Nikki Cross, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. If actually, I'll ask you this then. If you had a choice, who would be the champions?
Me?
Yeah.
Me and Laura. Me and my friend. No.
No. Seriously.
Serious? Okay. So that would be a perfect thing.
You got beat up quite a bit, especially in Elimination Chamber. You see yourself jumping over the top of that thing on the ground? No.
No, I like I said, I got a medical condition and tachycardia. Can't really do anything to say it.
That's a heel tactic to get out of defending the title.
Okay. Who I think?
Who do you think should be the first champions?
You know what? You're gonna call me nuts here, but I think Lita and Trish.
That could be a bit nuts.
Yeah, I think I far-fetched.
Probably. Like, cause the thing is, if that was the case, that could probably be another Lesnar situation where they ain't gonna show up a lot.
Oh shit, you're right. Okay, take that back. The Riot Squad.
If actually, I'll follow up on that. If the Riot Squad win it, do they freebird it?
Yes.
That could work.
I think they will freebird it.
That could be interesting.
That's because honestly, it's the way it looks. They could easily freebird it. That's what I think could happen.
The obvious choice would probably be Sasha and Bayley. But I think it's like, if you were to actually make make legitimate titles right away, that would probably be your best choice. And also, it'll actually give Bayley something.
Yep. Yep.
Like, you actually, I'll say this. You talking about Becky being in Charlotte's shadow? Bayley's in Sasha's shadow. Right now. Because, like, Sasha... But even then, Sasha is in the shadow of everybody else. Right now.
I know.
Which is very bad.
And ironically enough, the people who were in the longest in the Royal Rumble have title shots.
True. Yeah, actually, that is true. That is true. Number 1 and number 2 at our last year's Rumble.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey.
So anything can happen with that. Now, moving to the next part, NXT Blackpool.
We should have done this first.
What?
We should have done this first because it was the first in the order of the week. But
oops, my fault. I went a little bit out of order here.
Let's just do a quick run through of this because I don't know. Tag champions. Kind of surprised. New tag champions surprised Mustache Mountain didn't win it.
No.
Surprised by that. We gotta mention Finn showing up, but this gives me questions. This is question marks. Like, I did see a video Inside the Roads put up where Triple H did a I guess a press conference after the show, and someone asked him about why did they take Travis Banks out of that match and put Finn in. And apparently, what Triple H said was, it was to grab everybody's attention. You know, this gonna be a show stealer. This is to put the show over the top. That like Finn Balor, it did, yeah. But the question in my mind with that is, did you really need to do that?
Honestly, he was already there.
He was already there, but who else was? But someone else who was already there, Travis Banks. And from what I could tell, he wasn't legit injured. They took him out just cause.
They just did that for the storyline purpose.
Yeah, but it's like the storyline purpose was take somebody out who's on NXT UK and replace him with somebody else who didn't need to be there.
Oh, and you know how you remember? I know we were spending hours.
Whoa! You got muffled.
I know we were talking about the possibility of the NXT title, the Universal title match. The possibility of Jordan screwing him over.
That may be a bit far-fetched.
Yeah, but as I said, anything can happen.
Yeah.
But honestly, I enjoyed it. I liked it.
Of course you did. Anyway, after that, another surprise, Toni Storm won the women's title, which really surprised me. Actually, if I remember correctly, I got all 3 title matches wrong in the predictions.
Womp womp.
Yeah. Yeah, but hey, actually, I'm happy to be glad to be wrong on this one and in the other title match as well.
Which one?
The UK title.
600 days as champion.
Yeah, no, Toni Storm first.
Oh, whoops.
Yeah, what do you think?
Honestly, I didn't expect it. I thought Rhea's title run was going to go a little bit longer. But
this is actually a rematch of the tournament final.
No, it's not.
Isn't it? Wasn't that Rhea versus Toni for the title?
Toni faced Io Shirai. Oh wait,
no,
yeah, it was.
You're thinking of Mae Young Classic.
Okay, I was thinking Mae Young Classic. Whoops. So honestly, I think it could be bittersweet with this. Rhea won the title, and honestly, I felt that.
Muffled again.
Honestly, I felt that Rhea was just holding it for Toni. That's what I just felt.
Which would be a bit unfortunate. But to be fair, you should actually see it going on because the way they were booking Toni Storm, you could see that she's the one that WWE want to, or at least NXT UK want to push.
Yeah.
Because he won the Mae Young Classic and pushed decently, I believe, on NXT. before UK come up.
She does have a cool theme song.
Yeah.
I like her theme song.
Anyway. Yeah. Then the main event was again got wrong. Actually, I will say my my logic behind picking Coffee for that was 600-day reign, and I was kind of thinking that Pete Dunne was just holding it only holding for that long because there was no outlet at the time. Like, he won the title. Was it a takeover? Did he win a takeover?
Takeover Chicago.
Takeover Chicago. So he won it then. But there was no NXT UK until a year and a half later. And the only other times he defended the title was in NXT against Americans. Which would have defeated the purpose of the UK title by having a US person win it. Which also, I will say, kind of defeats the point, defeats the point of the UK women's title because the two women that I've heard of so far are not from the UK. Anyway. But I know in the UK scene.
Tony has major ties within the UK wrestling scene.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. That's why you've got Ripley there. That's why you've got Tony there. Why you've got Travis Banks there. Why you've got the new what's the word I'm thinking of? No, debutante show up, which we'll get to in a second. We'll get to in a second. So yeah, I thought that, it would probably be, the big bad heel taking the title, and then, you've got that to, for your shows to run, for the next couple of weeks, or next couple months or so, and then you've got, like, next big babyface winner at the next takeover, whatever that will be. Or the next UK takeover, whatever that will be. But no, Pete Dunne wins.
Honestly, I was surprised.
Yeah, I was definitely surprised. And then the debutante shows up.
He reminds me of I know I'm going to hell for this. He reminds me of the guy that's in Despicable Me.
He doesn't have the nose for it, though.
I looked at him like, wait a second. His theme song, I couldn't stop laughing.
Why?
It was too funny. It was catchy too.
But that was his theme. Like, that was his theme throughout the Indies and all that. So, like, that's meant to be menacing because, foreign, I guess, or something.
Yeah, I'm like, what the heck is that? And Pete Dunne's like, and I'm like, why is the guy from Despicable Me doing here? Yeah.
But to be fair, it's like, if you actually follow the UK scene and all that, Vault are coming up and all that, this is a pretty big deal.
Yep.
And I guess the next matchup is the two of them for the title, so that's gonna be pretty big. There's your next takeover right there, if they're actually willing to wait that long.
I don't know when. Probably in the spring.
I don't know. There is no official word on the next takeover. I wouldn't be surprised if it happened. Yeah, probably August will be a bit long. I don't see it happening before Mania, so maybe about May.
Yeah, around that time, because that's when the second takeover happened with the. Because
right now you've got takeovers after all the regular NXT takeovers after all the big four. It will be a bit much to put the next takeover, the UK takeover, in the WrestleMania weekend, because then you've got 6 shows.
That would be crazy. That's crazy. That is crazy.
So I'd say space it out a bit. Probably have it in May or June, so that way it's not being dragged down by WrestleMania or SummerSlam. It's there on its own. At least this time it was like they placed it 2 weeks before the Royal Rumble. If they could do the same thing. They could do the same thing. But I think it's like you'd probably have to space them out a bit more, maybe. Or at least this early. Just don't put them on the same weekend as regular takeover shows because they're gonna get lost in the shuffle. Everything's gonna get lost in the shuffle.
Okay.
And then it's like you're gonna have people complain. It's like, you know, NXT UK is just as good as NXT regular takeover, and they're both better than Survivor Series or something like that. You gotta get that. So that's that. We're gonna see the fallout on
today.
Well, actually, you know by now because that's actually up on the network now on NXT. Oh, I've actually better look at the NXT stuff actually in a minute. Okay, so that's that. So we're gonna talk about AEW then.
Oh God. Okay.
Okay. I'm actually just gonna take a quick look here. Because just to see what the current roster they have right now is like, you know, half of these names are gonna just probably go over your head anyway. But
I know some of them.
Yeah, no, of course, know some of them. Okay. I was, you know, don't go to What Culture's slide. It'll be a slideshow, and I don't want to go to 20 pages.
Shouts out to What Culture. Sorry, What Culture.
What Culture? Okay. Okay. So, just looking here, you got Hangman Page, you got Brandy Rhodes, Britt Baker, Chris Jericho, Christopher Daniels, Cody Rhodes, or just Cody, Frankie Kazarian, Joey Janela, Young Bucks, you got OWE, whatever that promotion is.
I think that's Japan.
Yeah,
China.
China, yeah. Pac, formerly Neville, was it Penelope Ford, and Scorpio Sky. That's the roster right now.
And that seems like a pretty decent roster there to be.
It is. It's
they are run by the Khans of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
The owner of the Jaguars, and also of I forget the team name. Fulham, the Fulham team in the UK, who actually the Khans were actually, this probably go over your head, tried to buy Wembley Stadium in the UK. You know, that big national stadium here, failed. So apparently they've got the money.
They got big money, bigger than Vince McMahon.
Yeah.
From what I was told, what I read about, they're going to be offering equal pay. Which
that got pulled back. That got pulled back a bit. That got clarified.
Okay.
I think when he said it was equal pay for workers, I think it got pulled back to say equal pay for similar spots.
Oh, okay.
So I don't think it means everyone's gonna pay exactly the same, but I think it means equal pay for similar spots. So I was like, main event men and main event women will get the same. I think that's what it meant to say.
Also,
a jobber's not gonna get paid the same as Chris Jericho.
Okay, that's kind of baffling, but I don't know. I don't want to jump the gun on yet regarding that.
Let's not jump the gun as everybody else has done already.
Yeah, and obviously that's a little mouth about it, and they also kind of cringeworthy. Was a little cringeworthy. They're not going to offer health care.
To be fair, I think it's more of like an expectation because like I would say that it would be pretty hard to get proper insurance for wrestlers because it is a pretty high risk thing, especially if you do it on a regular basis.
But they also offer creative freedom. From what I said, Joey Janela is still going to do his spring break thing, and Jericho's going to be able to do his cruise.
Oh yeah, though on the other hand, I think when you hear creative control to give it to your wrestlers, the first thing that jumps to your mind is, Oh, please don't be like WCW.
Okay. So here is where we're probably going to get shot at. Guys, as I was saying before, we're overhyping something that hasn't fully started yet. Now, I'm seeing a lot of people on Twitter, the know-it-alls of when people's contract expire. Who's to say who's going over? Now I'm seeing a lot of the main stars mentioned. Vince Dean's mentioned. AJ's mentioned. New contracts
Revival.
coming up. The Revival, who they requested a release from what I've heard.
I didn't hear that, but I heard like someone said they tried trademarking the FTR and the thing, which was a kind of a running joke from the elite, from being the elite.
Yeah, fuck the Revival.
Then turn it to Forever the Revival, or whatever.
Okay. Forever the Revival, something like that. But here's another thing.
Be the Revival.
I see a lot of people saying this wrestler should jump over. This wrestler should jump over. We don't even know when AEW is going to start. I only know one thing. I only know one thing happened. All In was in. All In was done. They had another double.
I'm gonna throw that back at you. You don't know when it starts. I thought I could find it right away. Hang on. That Double or Nothing show.
Okay, no. I meant like a TV deal. That's what I meant.
Yeah, but they're probably gonna start on May 25th. That's when the Double or Nothing is gonna happen.
Okay, so Double or Nothing, whatever it's called in Vegas. Here's the thing. A lot of people are saying a lot of people should jump over. The mid-carders and I think one mid-event person, from what Slice said, is possibly going over. We don't know that yet. People are honestly jumping the gun a little bit here. Because who's to say WWE can keep the stars that the IWC wants? They like, for example, I know it's more money because of the cards. But what are you going to pick more? Are you going to pick your happiness that you're doing a job to wrestle? Or are you going to pick the money? Now, if this was me, obviously, I want to be at a place where I'm living my dream and doing the job. Of course, I'm going to make some money, and I do want more of that money. But here's another fact I look into. If you're telling me my pay is not going to be equal because I'm on a certain level, then I would worry a little bit. But that's just me. Because I do believe that we should all get paid the same amount. But I know I'm sticking my foot in my mouth here a little bit. And Taz said it best on the show. We shouldn't be really looking into it yet. I mean, there's a lot of theories saying around that saying people are getting pushed because of the fear of AEW and that this is a loyalty thing, this is just a test. Fox Sports is looking to get WWE within the middle of towards the end of this year to raise competition.
But they already have SmackDown.
Okay, they already have SmackDown, but I'm not sure it's Raw. To be honest, if they want to focus on the SmackDown thing, and if they want to focus on Fox, they should get your athletic people on Fox Sports, because that's when Fox Sports. When I picture sports, I picture people, being athletes and so forth. Now, like I said, Taz said we shouldn't be looking into it. All because someone's going to post a random photo of a random thing. Do not automatically assume they're going to AEW. They're going to be jumping to AEW. As of tonight, we've heard that the Bennetts, Mike Maria, and the Revival have requested, not granted. It's two different things.
This is still speculation.
It's speculation. All of it's just speculation. Because remember last year, I'm sorry, like 3 years ago when the whole thing with the whole AJ Styles, Shinsuke Nakamura, and Gallows and Anderson said that they were going to go to WWE, and then Finn was going to go to the main roster. Remember that?
Yes.
That was all speculation. Obviously, the speculation turned out to be true with that. But I understand people do get frustrated with seeing their favorite people and top tier people getting treated. But who's to say most of them are living the dream in the WWE? You know, there's a lot of people, like I said before, there's a lot of people who say that they're happy with WWE, they're fine with WWE. Because if you think of it this way, the reason why people are saying people should go to WWE because they think Raw is the bad show. They say Raw is the bad show. We don't have a proper champion. They're doing so forth and so forth. They're not booking the people we want, but they don't shit on SmackDown, NXT, and NXT UK. You got to think of it. That's why people are saying, oh my God, he's not doing well on this show. He should go on this show. Because honestly, I don't want, here's the thing, I don't want AEW to fail. But I also do not want them to make the same mistake of focusing around former WWE people, like Impact has done.
Yeah, don't do that. Though I think the thing is, if you look at that roster I listed before, you've got two people like that, Cody and Jericho.
But don't make the focus around them.
Well, no. I don't know. I think it's fine to put your focus on WWE guys, because like I think with TNA, because TNA did it basically from the beginning that they were getting the name recognition from WWE guys. That's all well and good. It's fine. You know, you get recognizable names to get people to watch your show, so that you can use those names to build. You can build around your show around WWE guys, as long as you're building newer people as well. The problem with Impact was, or TNA was, they relied on WWE ex-WWE guys too much, to a point where I think I said it before. At one point, 2/3 of the people who had held the TNA World Championship were ex-WWE guys. So like you could be able to revolve the show around Cody Rhodes, no problem. You could revolve the show around Chris Jericho, that's fine. But that's 2 guys out of 12 in the roster so far. That ratio is fine. As long as it's not 12 ex-WWE guys with 2 new guys that you're barely going to use. That's TNA. Well, that was TNA.
Thing is, I don't know what could happen. You know, we're only in January still. Anything can happen.
Well, I think honestly, I think the whole AEW thing, like everybody's hyping it up. I think it's more a hope that it works, as opposed to they're expecting it to work. Well, to be fair, like the young Bucks and like the Elite in general and all that have been pretty good in marketing themselves. Like, people say like Young Bucks are like probably the most profitable, the most profitable wrestling act in wrestling today. Count even with WWE. So they can be able to do that, and also, like I say, you got the name recognition as well. And they've also got the Being the Elite show, which some people actually brought up the idea of they don't necessarily need to worry too much about distribution or trying to get the stories across, because they're doing their Elite show, and they basically had been, building up feuds and gimmicks on that show, around that show, and it's on YouTube. It's that's the internet. So so it's basically you don't have to pay for that. That's free. You don't have to pay for the you don't even have to pay for the bandwidth to go on YouTube. So you could do that for free. They could still be able to use that to market themselves and market, AEW and all that. They don't even need to have the TV show to do that, even though, a TV show would still sound nice.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think it's more like I think that they could have a chance to make this work because they're doing things differently than WWE are. So it could work, but I think that people need to take a step back, and because people think automatically think it's gonna be a success and it's going to compete against WWE. No, it's way too soon for that.
Like I said, here's the thing. I don't want
to see it fail. But I think it's like they had a good start with All In. But now the next step is, can they be able to do that on a consistent basis and keep people interested? And also for a weekly show. If that is the if that's the goal. So yeah, it's and also I think they're also untested. They did that one show fine, but in terms of actually doing a proper promotion, they did one cut. Now the question is, can they do it as a promotion? Can they do it on a weekly basis? Can they be able to sell venues all the time? Can they be able to are they going to be able to get people to buy pay-per-views? Are they going to get a good TV deal? Are they going to be able to, are they going to do everything that WWE has already nailed down? That's the question.
I think, this is just me, I think they should put it on a network where everyone can actually get.
That's easier said than done, because I know people had been actually talking about, they could be in talks with Turner, which that would blow my mind if they do that.
Mhm.
I'm gonna hold my breath on that. I think their best bet would be not to go for networks, but to go for some kind of online streaming thing. Maybe try to get some deal with the FightNap, or some kind of other over-the-top service, as opposed to try to get on a network, because it's a big ask to expect them to go on to Fox or to go on to NBC or even TNT. It's a big ask for. Mm-hmm. Especially a wrestling promotion that hasn't officially had a show yet. That has only only show they've ever done was one show, and they have no other experience and no more content options other than being in the Elite. So there's a lot of questions that need to be, for me, there's a lot of questions that need to be answered before I even say they can be a competitor to WWE. I would give them a year first. a year after the first show, if they can be able to sustain it. Because that's the other thing that everyone's dropping around. Because they've got the big money backers, the question now would be, can they get their return? If they're throwing all that money out, can they be able to get all that money back in? Because that's the biggest issue they have. Because if it's not profitable, that funding can get pulled real easily, and then you've got no promotion.
Mm-hmm.
I know I'm going off on a rant here, but realistic, folks.
Here's it, and I'm honestly getting sick and tired of just people saying, okay, if I know we're going back to Finn, for example, if Finn doesn't win, he's going to go to AEW. Again, we don't know when his contract will expire. I heard someone say it's expired at this year, but so that's 5 years. People said it's 2022. Again, we don't know when the contract expires. We're not insiders. People do have a right to speculate, but come on. Do not hype something up when nothing has happened yet. And as I was saying before, living your dream over money is possibly one of the best things. And you remember, okay, you obviously know Phil Hughes, right?
Of course.
Okay, hi Phil. we just had him.
Speaking of high hopes.
Okay, we have to ask this. Ready? You up? Anyway.
And 99% of the people that are watching this would have no clue what you're talking about.
What?
Don't explain it. Don't explain it.
What? You up?
Anyway.
You up?
I guess.
Okay.
Up where?
Okay.
Anyway.
So you remember how he pitched? He did a certain amount of innings before he had the thing. He didn't take the money. He was like, "Why should I take this bonus when I'm just doing my job?" Money may not amount to anything. Sure, I may want a lot of money to pay off my student loans and everything like that, but sometimes money doesn't really mean nothing. I mean, sure, you don't want to have it yourself financially good, but if you're living your dream, you're living your dream. Just say for example, if AJ is fine with WWE, AJ's fine with WWE. If Finn is fine with WWE, he's living his dream. Sometimes, he said it before. He's not in this for the money. He's just in this to live his dream out and do his job and love to wrestle. I think a lot of people do assume that all because one person's doing shit on another brand, it's automatically, okay, you should go to this place. Who's to say anyone of the favorites could end up on SmackDown this year? We just have to calm down with the AEW talk. They don't have a TV deal yet. There's only one show announced, All or Nothing. Wait, what? Double or Nothing. Excuse me.
Double or Nothing. That's coming up.
Yeah, I goofed up. Obviously, they said another show where they're doing it for the victims of gun violence and everything, which honestly, I didn't respect that. But let's not assume before we go further. That's the only thing else I have to say. Because you guys are gonna give yourself a heart attack if you keep on talking about this. Let's just calm down. Let's see where it goes from there. We haven't even hit the first WWE pay-per-view yet. So anything can happen from now up until whenever. So let's just calm down, relax, and chill out. That's my advice of the thing. And that's what I have to say about that. Is there anything else you want to say?
I think I've already said enough about it.
All right. So that wraps up for our first edition of the show. Tune in next week where hopefully it won't be a long edition this time. There's some closing thoughts here, final statements here from the desk of Megan. If you want to be on our show, we are open. Just just little heads up here. We do record. Dave is on Ireland time. I am on East Coast time. It has to be at a certain time where we can all talk about it.
We
We
try to
did
record
plan
on
prior.
Wednesdays.
Yep, we are recording Wednesdays. Take this little heads up here. We are looking. Okay. Oh, let me back up for a second. Like I said, we are at the Untitled podcast for now. We don't have a name yet.
That could change. It may not. I don't know.
That could change. It may not change. I don't know. So if you want to get in contact with me, if you want to get in contact with on being the show, you can do it 3 ways. You can contact me on Twitter, Megan MEAGANG90, or David MCM.
It'll be in the description.
It'll be in the description, okay? Our Twitter's in the description, or the Wild Candy Visuals Twitter,
which is also in
the description. Yeah. As of right now, by the time this is posted, we're gonna have a blank screen. So basically, it's gonna be just audio. We are looking for a graphic, but we don't know. If you want to have our graphic on the show, you can do that. But who's to say we can have a graphic when the video goes up?
Nobody, because we don't have one. It's gonna go up like as soon as we're done. So.
Yes, and other than that, I'm Megan. That's Dave.
Yep.
We'll see you guys next week.
Okay, everyone.
Bye.